Great, thank you so much, Gary. All right, let's jump right in. So, when you are using our online marketing center, you will receive, actually let me rephrase that. So our system, what we do is we're an online marketing platform geared towards real estate agents and brokers. And we have a selection of design templates that are used to create your marketing collateral. And we have the ability to, as soon as your listing is made active, that night we are able to automatically create projects on your behalf so that you only have to activate your listing and do no further work to have a kit created for you that you can send out to your clients and prospects for promoting your listing. When we're done creating the projects for you, you will receive an email like this, and it will have links to the projects that we created. It will also have links to social media so that you can post it right away. But here you can view the projects that were made. So right now we're going to look at an e-postcard. All of this is made by our system. You didn't have to do any work. We got this information from the listing. You can see it has a photo, it has all the listing information, and it will include your contact information, including a link to email or to visit your website. Back to the email. When you have your projects, when your projects are created for you, you will receive one e-postcard, one mailing postcard, a website for your listing, a YouTube video, and a virtual tour. Now, these will be stored in your account in our system for you to then distribute. Let's take a quick look at the YouTube video. The YouTube video is searchable online and able to be seen by anyone who has access to your YouTube channel or searches that address. You can see here the address is listed right there. Sorry, I'm going to mute that music. You can see the listing information. You're welcome to share it using the tools on YouTube. Here you can post it, copy and paste it, email it, what have you. All the things that YouTube allows you to do. Back to our notification email, the website, let's take a look at that. This will exist as a promotional website for your listing. It will have the information, including, you can include open house time, the listing price, details about the listing. It will have a map that shows the location of it. The viewer can look at property photos, all of that. Really a nice array of work done for you, and all you have to do is send it out. So at the bottom of your email, it's going to tell you what you can do now that you have this email. You can go to the projects or you can take the information from this email, and send it to your clients and prospects. You can distribute these projects on social media. You can print the printable pieces with your preferred printer, or you can update the photos or change the text. So let's go ahead and log into our account and take a look at what you would do as a user once you get your email and you want to log in and look at what was made. Just a reminder, to get the link to log in and the password, you can reach out to Ernie, Eric, or Molly Ann, and they can get you set up and going. So I'm going to log into my account. Just a little disclaimer, I'm zoomed in on my browser so that it's easier for you to see from a distance. So some things might be pushed in a little bit of a different arrangement because it is zoomed in. And so when you are looking at it on your screen in your own account, you might see things in a little bit of different place. Just keep that in mind that this view is a little bit crowded at the time. So this is where you land when you log in. This is our home page. Now the first thing that I imagine you'd want to do is look at the projects that were created for you. You can find them one of two places. Up here across this banner is always present. You can always click here, or you can click on Edit Existing Project. These are the projects that were represented in the email that we just looked at. This is the folder that they live in. Just like on a computer, when you save a file, you give it a file folder to be saved in. Our system works very much the same way. So your account over time will likely have multiple project folders, and as you go in them, you'll be able to see the projects contained inside. So let's take a look at the projects that were created. We'll start with the e-postcard. Now, the screen that we're at here, like I said, this is arranged a little bit differently than it will look when you're not zoomed in. But this here is the project page. From this page, and this information I'm about to share with you is the same for every product type. So this will be the same for e-postcards, websites, videos, all the like. So it'll appear in the same way. So you will have options to preview, edit, or duplicate your project. Down here you will see your distribution options, like sending it to the web, emailing it to your contacts, or pushing it out to social media. Here you will be able to see the links that were generated for it to be shared on the web, and here you can see email history. You also have the option to buy a custom domain from us to promote your listing. Maybe you want to buy the address 1234mainstreet.com. You are able to click here, purchase that domain, and then point that domain to the projects that are created in our system. This is really valuable for products like our website, and I'll remind you of that when we take a look. So let's get into our project. First, let's preview it. It will look very much like the link that I showed you before, just in a smaller rendering. Now let's edit. Maybe we want to make a change to our project. And remember, every product type, these instructions are the same. So whether you're making a postcard or a website or an e-postcard, you will always see the steps: info, photos, text, and agent. First thing your project needs is a name. Just like when you're saving something on your computer, your file needs a name. Then you can give it a project description. That's optional, not required. Let's click Save and continue to proceed. We can see here that there's already a photo listed, of course, because this project was created for us. It's telling us that this photo might not be the best fit for this space. So at this time, we could change the photo if we'd like to. To do so, we can just click this, hover over this icon. This says Replace. Looks like two squares circling each other. And I can either pick a photo from my computer here, or I can pick a photo that was brought in with my listing. To get a better view, I can click this magnifying glass to see it bigger. And to select the photo, I can make this check mark green, add selected, and it switched out the photo. This photo also seems to not be a perfect fit, but I like the way it looks, so I'm going to leave it be. And I'm going to click Save and Continue. Now, if there's anything that I want to change on the text, I can do so here. You'll notice as I hover over the boxes, there's a character count. It gives me an estimate of how many characters can fit in each field. Each field is labeled so that I know what type of information goes into it, and I can make those changes right now. Maybe I want to add the year built. I can skip any fields that I don't want to include. Here's my body copy, which came in from the listing. If I want to make it longer or shorter, or sometimes there's even a typo, you can go and edit this information if you would like to. I'll make that change. If I want to add my social media links to this project, I can by entering that information into the appropriate field. If I'm listing this with a second agent, I can put their contact information into this field at this time as well. I'm going to click Save and Continue to keep my changes. And then here I see the first agent information, which there will be some fields that will not be editable because they remain the same, and if you need to make any changes to them, you can reach out to us or to management. And here it will say your business contact information, including your website. Here, if you want to switch out your photo, you can. If you want to upload a completely different photo, you have that option. If maybe your photo is more square than portrait-oriented, you can change that at this time. I'm going to click Save and Continue. And now I'm getting a reminder. Remember, this is a project that was already created and has a link made to it. It's reminding me that if I've made any changes, I'll need to rehost it so that the changes are visible. What that means is there's been a link made for this project, and it will show whatever version was there at the time that it was hosted. If I make any changes, if anyone has that link, they need to see the latest version. So I need to go and rehost. So let me click this button that says Publish to Web. And then I click OK. Now I'm going to go to Links and Tools to take a look at what I just made. And here I can see the changes. Let's see if I can get this to zoom in a bit. So here, if you recall, I added year built and call me today. And those changes were saved when I hosted it. Now that I've modified it the way that I want to, I can go ahead and send out this link. I can copy and paste it, put it anywhere I want to. I can make the link shorter by clicking this button and copy and paste it anywhere. If I want to put this in maybe I have a personal website, I can get some simple HTML to include that, or send it to, if you have someone who manages your website for you, you can copy and paste that information for them. Now, you can also share on Facebook. Clicking this button will let you compose a title for your post, and then you can go ahead and compose your post in Facebook, and it will go to your personal page. Okay. All right, so moving right along, let's go back to our project folder and look at the projects that we have created. So we have several product types, and like I said, the steps that I just went through are the same for every single one. Let's just take a quick peek at another one just to reinforce that fact. So here we are looking at the postcard. Now is a good time to point out right here on the left side of the screen, you will always see something that's called the view layout. That will tell you where your photos will land when you upload them and where your text will appear. I wanted to show you in this project, because this project has more than one photo, where this information is a little bit more pertinent. So let's save and continue to get to our photos page. Let's say that we want to rearrange the order. Maybe I want this picture that's in photo 4, which would appear at the bottom, maybe I want that one at the top. I can just drag and drop and move it into place. This picture is actually not the right orientation, so I can either use this box to select which part of the picture displays, or I can swap it out for a more appropriate photo by going to Project Photos, and I will click this one that I want instead. That's a much better fit. I'll move this window over a little bit. I want to point out that when you're cropping in our system, you're not actually changing the image file. You're more like moving the visible window that will display over the appropriate part of the photo that you want. So now that I have that done, I can click Save and Continue. Maybe I want to preview my project to see if I like the way that my photos turned out. Let's see here that I moved them around. I'm happy with it. So this will be in 2 pages. This is a double-sided design. So the top part is the front of the card. The bottom part is the back. And just remember, this is preview only. You don't want to print from this space here because this is not optimized for printing. Okay, so back to our text. If I want to change any text at this time, we know how to do that. We already did that in the first one. I'm not going to make any changes at this time. I'm going to just proceed through and save and continue. It's just reminding me that the changes that I made, I'll need to rehost them so that the new photos are there. So I will click Publish to Web to update that link. And you are all set. Now I have glossed over some of the details that show up on the modal windows that pop up. I'm really just trying to show you the basics, but there are some more advanced steps that you can take when you have some time, where you could save this postcard as an image if you wanted to. You can get quite creative with it, but I just want to show you enough to get you to hit the ground running. So postcards. Postcards are printed. You can either take this new postcard and send it off to one of these 3 print companies. Once you click their icon, you are reminded to preview your project for any errors, because that will be your proof. And then you will be taken to that company's website. You'll notice here that my pop-up blocker caught it, so if you're not seeing anything, check in your address bar. Now I'm going to click on that again so that it won't be blocked by the pop-up blocker. Oh, I forgot I'm on a sample one, so I can't actually get into their website. I apologize for that. But you see what will happen is you click on that link, and then a tab will open up with that company's website where you can go ahead and build your order. And what's great is our system sends the file to them. You don't have to do any downloading or anything to send it to one of our print partners. You can go ahead and build your print order there. They all have competitive pricing and high quality finishing options as well, and can accommodate overnight orders. If you want to download your project to print it yourself, or perhaps you take it to a business in town, let's say you want to take it to FedEx. Printable projects you can download as a PDF. You have 3 options. You can download it as a standard PDF with just default settings. You can download it as this is good for printing in your office or at your desk. Commercial PDF has some professional options like crop marks and a bleed. This is good for if you want to take it to an in-town print company. And saving it as a web image, this is good for displaying on a website or sending out in an email that you construct yourself. We're going to just go ahead and go through the steps of a standard PDF. So click the download button. You will see this link here, and I'm going to follow the steps that it says that are listed here on the screen. So I'm going to left click on this link, and I'm going to click Save Link As. It defaults to file name, and it says to pictures. I'm actually going to ask it to save on my desktop. It will save as an Adobe Acrobat PDF, and I'll click Save. Now I can open up my PDF and look at it. There we go. So this is the front of my card. This is the back of my card. And now I can go ahead and click Print to send it to my printer at, in my office to go ahead and get that done. So again, what I did to download the PDF was at the project page, I clicked the Download PDF option, and I chose the standard PDF. You can click back to get back to the project page. We're going to take another step back and look at let's see. We will look at the virtual tour. The virtual tour is a wonderful product of ours. It's quite flexible in that you can present it as branded or unbranded, which is useful because there are cases for both. So if we look at links and tools to see what links already exist, we see that we have them created already because this is our auto-created project. So let's just take a look at the first version of the virtual tour. Here it is on the screen. You can see it's advancing through the pictures. And here the viewer can click Contact to see your information and contact you, send you an email, or visit your website. Now, if I click the IDX unbranded version, I just see the listing information. There's no logo, there's no agent contact information. It's perfect and ready to go. We won't go through the distributions options on this because we've already gone over them. Now let's take a look at emailing projects. Now, to send out an email in our system, you have two options. One, I'm going to do this with the e-postcard. The first thing you can do is you can send it to yourself. And when you send it to yourself, you can, many people do this just to get a look at what it would look like to the recipient. This email does not include an unsubscribe link. So if you take this version and forward it out, keep that in mind, that the recipient does not have an unsubscribe link. So this is really just good for looking at it yourself and making those decisions as to whether or not you want to make any changes. So if you want to send it out to your contacts, you would click Premium. And here you can choose, you can compose your subject line. This will be the subject line of the email. You can choose who to send it to. You can type them in by hand, or you can select them from your contacts that you've loaded. You'll notice here that we don't have any right now, so I will show you how to go ahead and upload contacts for this purpose. Let's take a step back. Remember this bar at the top that I referenced in the beginning? We're going to click Contacts. Here you can create a new contact by clicking the button on the left, and you can add them manually. Just like that. Now I have a contact created. Additionally, you can import a list, which is typically the most common use. So you probably have a great list of contacts either in your Outlook or your Gmail or in some type of database where you keep them all. And you can export it from that system into an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file, and then you can bring that into our system. So what I'm doing now is I had clicked the Import Contacts button, and I want to put the contacts I'm about to bring in into a group. So I gave this group a name of Training Demo, and I'm going to say Add this group. I'm going to click Next. Now I need to select the file on my computer, or if my contacts are stored in any one of these resources, I can do so. I can click on that to go ahead and bring them in. My file is actually on my computer, so I'm going to click here to select my contacts, and I'm going to click Open. And now I have to tell our system what information is in which column. So here I can see my first couple results. I know that this is first name, last name, email address. I'm not bringing in phone numbers or any of these other items, so I'm actually going to click Skip. So don't even worry about those. Okay. So now I've told the system that this is the first name column, this is the last name column, this is the email address column. It's asking me if this entry right here is a contact, and it's not. It's just the headings of my column. So I'm going to click No, and then I'll click Next. Now it's told me that 16 new contacts have been created. And I'll click here, and they were added to my group Training Demo. Notice the wording here. There are new contacts created, and then 0 existing contacts were updated. If you ever have concern as to whether or not you're bringing in the same person over and over again, our system is able to get that straightened out. If they have the same email address, that's the unique key in our system, then that information will, if it's already in our system, it'll just be updated. If it is not a match, then we will make a new contact. So here we click Done. This clock symbol says that I've brought this person in recently in the last 30 days. Here I have my individuals, and I have my group. I can look at my group information. And they're all set. So now that I have contacts saved in my system, I'm going to go back to my project and start mailing them out. So I select my e-postcard. I select email to contacts. I can click here. Now I can either check names individually if I just want to choose a couple of people, or I can select the group that I made. And they're included. What's nice is that if I have a group that I've saved and I continually add to that group, I can just, this number here represents how many people are in that group. So as I begin to build my contacts list, this number can go up and up and up. Now you'll recall that I selected the names of people who are already in this group. Our system will only send them one email, even though they're selected twice. So we've already taken care of that for you. You don't have to worry about it. I now have my email ready to go. I can send it right now. I can schedule to send it in the future. I want them to get this information as soon as possible, so I'm going to click Send Now and Next. And I get one more warning that says it's ready to send. I can review it. Let's know the details. It looks like my account is not set up to have enough to email this out. This will, so I would need to add funds to my account in order to send this. Now this won't be the case for everyone. All right, so then I can just click Send, and it's ready to go. So let's do a quick review. So what we've done so far is we looked at our notification email. We reviewed the links there. We took that information and then went into the account. We went to Projects and found our existing projects. We updated our postcard by clicking Edit. We re-hosted it by clicking Publish to Web, and we did that to update the link so that it has the most current information. We also went through how to post to social media, how to email out our project. With our postcard, we reviewed how to send your print piece off to a print company for processing, or how to download it for printing at your desk or sending to a local business. We also went over how to email a project. We uploaded contacts into our system so that we can send our email projects out directly through Imprev and in bulk. One thing that I forgot to mention is that when you are sending out an email and you're using your contact list and you send it out that way, that has an unsubscribe link, which is really helpful, and it helps you to stay CAN-SPAM compliant. One nice thing about our unsubscribes is that even if you've removed that, let's say Tatiana Davenport unsubscribed, if you had included her in a future group and she had clicked unsubscribe, our system will not let that email send. So sometimes we don't realize who's unsubscribed and who's not, and our system helps you. When they unsubscribe, you will see an international symbol for no right here, to let you know that they have unsubscribed so that you can update that information external to our system. But rest assured, you are protected if her name happens to creep back in and you try to send something to her. Our system just won't do it, so that no one is bothered and you keep that goodwill going. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the other components in our system. Now that you know how to get in, edit your projects, and send them out, let's talk about what you can do other than just acting based off of the email that you get. there is a gallery of designs in your account, a freestanding product that you can choose to build things from. You're not limited to just the 5 or so pieces that we auto-create for you when your listing is made active. You can go through here and look at any one of these products. Let's say you want to look at flyers, and we have these menus where you can really drill down to exactly the type that you want. Perhaps you want a single-sided flyer, and you want it to have 4 photos. So we're narrowing it down even more. And let's say you want it to, we'll just go with that. So here you have 2 pages worth of flyers that you can go through, but it's been narrowed down significantly. And you want to decide which one you want to use. You can click on it and bring up this window. It'll tell you information about the design. You can click View Sample to see it larger. You can see the design elements like these banners up here, how many photos are included. This text right here that looks like nonsense or it looks like Spanish or Latin, this is sample text. It's called Lorem Ipsum. These words will not appear in your design. This is just to demonstrate what text in that field would look like. So don't pay that any mind. Don't let that worry you any. You will be filling in that space. Many of our designs have the ability to hold 2 agent information. The primary agent or the person operating the account, their information will appear on the left, so that if there's no second agent, this will just appear blank, which makes the designs very flexible. Please note that if you do work with a partner, you'll want to be mindful when you're building projects whose account you're in. If you have a preference for who appears on what side, the person whose account you're signed into will always be on the left. And get out of this preview here. Okay, so if you decided that this is the design that you want to use, you would just click select this design, and you would give the project a name. And you can go ahead and choose which folder to put it into. You can make a new folder. And what's nice is since we already used the listing information for 1234 Main Street, you can tell the system to go ahead and use that information. Just another way to save a lot of time. Also reduces the risk for typos. You can either tell it, don't bring in this information, or you can select the listing and say, I want this information brought in. Now it's building the project for us. Okay, so it selected the first 4 images. You can always, as we saw before, you can mix them up, switch them around. If I want to remove it all together, I can click that trash can icon and click plus to find more photos. If I want to go to, if I want to use a stock image, I can change these settings to select a different photo. Again, you can drag and drop and rearrange your photos. You can also change how big they display for you by clicking one of these 3 buttons at the top. And we'll click Save and Continue. Now, the listing information was brought in, but there are other details. For instance, disclaimer. There's a disclaimer field in this design, so we will click on the I want to show you another tool called the Phrase Assistant. This will save you a lot of time. This tool holds stock phrases, and it also remembers all the phrases that you type in so that you don't have to type them over and over again. So here, using these drop-down menus, you control what you're choosing from. So I want to choose from stock phrases that are disclaimers. and I want it to show only the ones that will fit. So here, if I want to choose one of these disclaimers, I can click right there, click Insert and Close, and I'm done. Scroll down, see if I want to make any changes. Click Save and Continue. There's my agent information. Again, in the case of using 2 agents on a project, here is where you would want to add the second agent's photo. I'll click Save and Continue, and then let's preview our work. Let's see how it turned out. All set. It has the information I put in. There's my disclaimer, and I'm done now. And I can, now that I'm done, I can download it, put it on Facebook, publish to web, any of those things that we have already covered. Now, the process that we just completed to build the flyer was the exact same process as we did for the e-postcard and the mailing postcard. We believe in repetition. We believe in making it simple. So we use the same process for creating anything. So again, if you want to choose a design to build a project from, you can click Design, and that will display the different product types you can choose. Now, just before we wrap up, I want to cover 2 other items in our system. Let's go right here to listings. Now, your active listings will be brought into our system nightly, and the information is saved here. This is the listing that I used to demonstrate from today, and I can click here to look at the listing information. Now, if I need to change anything, and sometimes typos slip through, like the information goes on the MLS and then it comes here, and there may be something that you want to remove or add or edit. You can do that at this time, and you'll click Save to keep your changes. You can also add photos, and the purpose of doing this is so that when you go to create projects from this, you won't have to upload the photos over and over again. You just add all the listing photos. You can see there's plenty of room. You add here and you save them, and this keeps track of your listings here. Now, if you want to create a project with this listing information, you can click Create a Project, and you can select the design from the design gallery and go from there. Additionally, you can click Create a Marketing Kit, and you can choose from one of the kits here, and all you have to do is click Select, and then our system will take the listing information, place it in the designs. Again, saves you a lot of time, a lot of editing, and then you would go to the pieces that were created and distribute them or modify them, whichever your choice is. If at any time you, let's say you made a listing active first thing in the morning, and you know that we won't get that listing information until nighttime, but you have to have those flyers, or you have to have that video. What you can do is you can click Create a New Listing. You go ahead and you enter your listing information in here, just as you would have on the MLS, and you can save it here, get all of your information in one time, save it, and then you'll click that link that we saw right here. You can click Create Marketing Kit, boom, you're done. And then when we get the information overnight, we're not going to disturb anything. If there's any changes, let's say maybe the price is different or something like that, that might be updated, but you have gotten ahead of the curve. You've already gotten your stuff updated and out and distributed, and you are ready to go. So if time is of the essence and you can't wait for the auto-created project, you do have the ability to create your new listing right away. In my experience, most people prefer to wait overnight because they can spend that time doing other things. Last but not least, let's take a look at campaigns. Our system, in addition to helping you to promote your listings, you are able to just stay in contact with your sphere with these set it and forget it campaigns. So we have campaigns that are time-based and date-based. Now, date-based obviously will send on a specific date. For instance, the holidays traditional campaign has dates set and they will deliver on or near that holiday date. A time-based campaign is one that sends out an event to a recipient based on the amount of time they've been added to the campaign. For instance, this one right here has already been selected in this account. It's a downsizing campaign, and it's already started, and I can tell because I have the option to pause it. I would need to add contacts to the campaign, so let me go ahead and grab that group that I made earlier. So now I have contacts on this campaign, so that warning message goes away. Now I can see all of the events. I can click here to see more detail. So this tells me that touch 1 goes 1 day after the contact was added. Touch 2 goes 30 days after that contact was added. And our system will keep track of when they were added so that it knows when to send it. If you want to edit what's in the project that's contained in the campaign, because they are pre-built, you can either preview it to take a look and see if you like it. If you want to make changes, you can click Edit Project, and you'll go through those same steps that we've covered a couple of times in how to build or edit a project. So you could change this text if you wanted to, or maybe you would like to use a different article. Save and continue, and you are ready to go. Campaigns, I highly recommend them. It's a great way to get a lot of work done without a lot of effort. If you want to, sorry, let's go back up here. So this top part of the page are the campaigns you've already selected. The bottom are the campaigns you have to choose from. So we have several topics: tax prep, holidays, we have e-newsletters, monthly and quarterly. And then we have real estate related topics like downsizing, single home ownership, seller prospect, rent versus own, and the like. You just select the one that you want. We'll just go through the steps very quickly. So I select this campaign. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my contacts to the campaign, because what's a campaign without anyone to send it to? I'll click Save, and now I click Start, and it's ready to go. The check marks are events that took place in the past. This is a date-based campaign, and it obeys the laws of the time-space continuum, and it will not do any events that were in the past. It will only show events in the future. So if the on button is green, it is ready to go. If you don't want to do a particular event for whatever reason, you can click the off button and that event will be skipped. If you want it to send, make sure that it's green for go. So I'm going to go back to the home page. So I have covered really the basics, everything to get you started. It all begins with that email. Let's see if I can find it again. This email. This will be your trigger to remind you to go into your system and find those projects that are linked here and start sending them out so that people hear about your listings as soon as possible. We've covered how to go in and make any changes or update the links if needed, how to choose a design if you want to make a separate project, how to add contacts to your account so that you can start sending out those emails, how to edit or view your listings, and how to select and begin a campaign. There's definitely more that our system can do, but I think that this is enough to get you going. If you ever need any help with whatever comes up in our system, you can click the Get Support link. This is always available. It has our phone number. Let me see if I can get that any bigger. There we go. This is our phone number. We're open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're in the same time zone, lucky you. And we do have the major federal holidays excluded. And I also want to show you, we have this extensive FAQ, and they are, you can click here, this is how to add my agent photo, a very good place to start. And it will give you step-by-step instructions, including these really great screenshots if you're a visual person like me and you just want to see what you're supposed to click. And it gets you through the process, and you're done. The FAQ, like Jeopardy Answers, is in the form of a question. And so you can, one thing that I recommend doing for the FAQ is on your keyboard, if you hold down Control and F, you can look up a certain word. Maybe you have a question about emailing, and then that will show you the result, and you can find the question more easily that way. Just a pro tip on how to use our FAQ. There's also a built-in search field that you can use. Both of them are pretty handy. I just recommend it over scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. If you're like me, that gets very old, even though web pages can go on forever like they're intended. So we're now at the end of our time. I'm going to review the questions that have lined up in the queue. The question that I see here is, what are the prices? Now, for you to actually use our system, the cost is free. If you want to send your print pieces out to be processed, you will pay the print company whatever their cost is, and that can vary. And as I mentioned before, it is competitive. There's no fee to update your links or to create new links. I don't believe there's a fee for emailing. I may be incorrect on that, and I apologize because I work with a lot of people and I sometimes get it mixed up. But I have someone who is checking on that right now. But to just operate your account, function in it, there's no cost. There are not any upgrades for you to add to your account at this time. So you can operate in your account knowing that nothing is tied to your credit card. You know, clicking on anything isn't going to give you any unwanted surprises in your bank account. So yeah, are there any other questions while I wait on the other answer to that question? I know it was a lot to take in, so don't be shy. Okay, so for emailing, to wrap up that question, you get 2,500 free emails per calendar month, and then they are 1 penny each above that threshold. So just remember that that resets the first of every month. So if you send 2,501 emails in a month, you will pay 1 penny. If you send 2,500 in a month, you will pay nothing. And so in order to pay for those additional emails, you can click here to add funds, and you can add it in whatever increment you want to. It defaults to $25. You'll click buy, you'll type in your credit card information, and then as your threshold is exceeded, that balance will decrease. There's this really great tool that I want to show you here. Your account balance, which is how much money you've loaded into our system, will always be visible in the lower left. You can see your pricing tier. You can see your projected use for the future so that you can decide if you need to add funds or not. So you can see here we have the campaign set up and no funds, so it's letting us know that we need to add some money to this so that these events can go out. If there is not money on the account at the time that these emails need to be sent, they will not be sent. You can also see your transaction history of the times that you've added funds to your account to cross-check that with your bank account. Okay, a few other follow-up questions. The price for domain. The custom domain names are $19.99 per year. They are good for a year, and we will send you a reminder just before they expire in case you want to keep them and renew. Next question is explain the storage used box and what the cost is to buy more storage. As listings sell, I assume you can delete. That is correct. Storage use, this is the amount of, this represents links that are hosted. So whenever you host a file, and hosting means basically assign a URL to it so that your project is visible on the web to other people, it takes up a certain amount of space. And so you are allotted 100 megabytes for free, and it's going to let you know how many you're using. And what I recommend is as your listings sell, I would recommend going back to those projects. In fact, I'll do that right now to show you what that would look like. You go back to the project that you hosted. We'll go to this website. To remove that link, you'll click on Links and Tools and this little trash can button. That will delete the link. And that, you might have noticed, freed up some space. So before we were at 4%, now we're at 2%. Now, know that high quality photos will take up more space. I recommend high quality photos for obvious reasons. But just keep that in mind if you're thinking, wow, I'm using up a lot of storage. If you have really awesome photos in your project, that's why it's using it up. If you need to get more storage, you can click this button here. You can buy increments of 100, and this purchase is for 1 year, and it's $29. So you can always choose to manage it by unhosting the links that aren't needed, or you can buy more. I will let you know that it's not often that I find that people need to buy more. Usually managing it is okay, but don't stress if you do need more. Certainly, go with what you need, but I don't want you to feel like if you have 10 projects and you're going to need to buy more storage space. So I think that I've covered all of the questions. I don't see any others. Again, this training is being recorded, so I will save it and host it and then send it to the powers that be for distribution however they see fit. I would encourage you to reach out and call our support line, or you can always email us at support@imprev.com. That's SUPPORT @IMPREV.com. And we're happy to give you the assistance that you need. We're so excited to have you on board. We really think you're going to enjoy how little time you'll actually be spending in our system, because we're going to do the heavy lifting for you. So on that note, we will part ways. I thank you so much for your time and your participation today, and for your patience while we got the audio worked out. Have a great day and go sell those listings.